Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. This is New Year's Eve. I've entitled this video God Rule, People, Angels, and Events. And that includes elect angels and non-elect angels, fallen angels. God rules over all things. There are many passages in the Bible that allude to this absolutely sovereign God. I'm going to just give you a few for your own. If you want to look these up, you can look them up. Psalm 55:26, Job 38:41, Psalm 147:9, Luke 12:24, 1 Kings 3:13, Isaiah 48:3, Isaiah 46:10, Isaiah 45:5, Isaiah 45:21, Isaiah 44:7, Deuteronomy 32:7, Psalm 33:11, Proverbs 19:21, and Numbers 23:19, just to get you started. You know, either God is in control, or if he is not in control, he's not God. That's the bottom line. He says, I am God and there's none beside me. And we can never, ever proclaim the sovereignty of God too much. What this country needs is a good dose of the sovereignty of God. It gives us great comfort to know that he's in control of all things. The good, the bad, and the evil. And Brother Michael Smith did a message on this morning, and he was giving the definitions by Noah Webster of providence and predestination. And I want to reread those for you because Michael shared these with me. Providence, in theology, the care and superintendence which God exercises over his creatures. He that acknowledges a creation and denies a providence involves himself in a palpable contradiction. For the same power which caused a living thing to exist is necessary to continue its existence. Some persons admit a general providence but deny a particular providence, not considering that a general providence consists of particulars. A belief in divine providence is a source of great consolation to good men. By divine providence is often understood God himself. And then Noah Webster's definition of predestination, the act of decreeing or foreordaining events, the decree of God by which he hath from eternity unchangeably appointed to determine whatever comes to pass. It is used particularly in theology to denote the preordination of men to everlasting happiness or misery. Predestination is a part of the unchangeable plan of the divine government, or in other words, the unchangeable purpose of an unchangeable God. Very good definitions of predestination and providence. And Michael pointed out that you cannot separate predestination from providence. You can't have predestination without providence, and you can't have providence without predestination. And God rules over his kingdom, and his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. His kingdom will never end. Deal with it. Deal with it. Today we hear a lot about the lie of free will, the exaltation of the creature, even the exaltation of Satan himself. But God rules over Satan. He's put all things under his feet, and that includes Satan. That also includes evils and men, and non-elect angels and angels. Above all principalities and powers, Colossians 1. He's made all things, and by him all things. He created all things, and by him all things are made that are created. And that includes the superintending of those things forever. I'm glad to know that God's in charge. I'm glad to know that he is not wringing his hands over events that are happening, for he decreed all things. The Bible says not even a sparrow falls unless he orchestrates it, he decrees it. There's nothing that happens without God's superintending hand over it. And so that includes who becomes president. That includes who wins and loses wars. That includes where you go to school. That includes who your parents are. That includes how many children you have. That includes whether you have a boy or a girl. That includes where you live. The bounds of your habitation are in his control. What kind of car you drive. You know. And what kind of makeup you put on. Okay. God is over every infinitesimal detail of our lives. So we can rest, knowing that God is in control. We don't have to try to worry about everything. Like Michael was saying this morning in that scripture in the 6th chapter of Matthew, verse 25 tells us about God's predestinating power over all things. Matthew 6:25 through 30. Consider the lilies of the field. They neither toil nor spin. Solomon in his beauty was not arrayed like one of these. God has all things in his hands. We used to sing that song, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. He's got you and me, sister, in his hands. He's got the little baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. A lot of people want to deny predestination over all things. They try to deny that God is in control. He's over the storm. He's over the tsunamis. He's over the tornadoes. He's over the... there's no such thing as accidents. There's no such thing as wasted years. There's no such thing as... there's no contingencies with God. He's sovereign. And let us never forget that. Let us praise the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. May the good Lord be with you this New Year's Eve is my prayer. God bless.